Solid liquid gas, the P waves enter. Solid particles only S wave. P waves, primary waves, solid liquid gas. Secondary waves only solid particles. Long waves only solid particles. Longitudinal primary waves. Transverse, neither longitudinal nor transverse. Wave of long wavelength confined to the skin of Earth's crust. Wave of short wavelength, secondary high frequency, secondary wave. Short wavelength, long wavelength confined to area. Short wavelength and high frequency. P waves. P and S waves are called body. P and S wave because they can travel through Earth interior. Body waves. Distribution of earthquake. Most of the world earthquake occurs in the zones of young fold mountains. The zone of folding and faulting. The zone of a junction of a continental and oceanic margin. The zone of active volcanoes and along different plate boundaries. The traditional zones of earthquake are the seismic waves. Most of the world earthquakes occur in the zones of young fall mountains. The zone of folding and faulting, the zone of a junction of a continental and oceanic margin. Zone of young fall mountains. The zone of folding and faulting, the zone of junction. Continental and ocean margin. The zone of active volcanoes and along different plate boundaries. Young fall mountains. Zone of folding and faultings. Zone of a junction of continental and oceanic margin. The zone of active volcanoes and along different plate boundaries. Earthquake occurs. Zone of a young fold, zone of a folding, faulting, junction. The traditional zones of earthquakes are circumpacific belt, mid-continental belt and mid-Atlantic belt. Circumpacific belt, mid-continental belt, mid-Atlantic belt. Tsunami. The seismic waves caused by the earthquake traveling through the sea water generate high sea waves. This phenomenon is known as tsunami. Seismic waves caused by the earthquake. Caused by the earthquakes traveling through seawater generate high sea waves. This phenomenon is known as the tsunami. It is generated by the displacement of water. Seismic waves by the earthquakes traveling through seawater. Generate high sea waves. This phenomenon is known as the tsunami. Circumpacific belt, mid-continental belt, mid-Atlantic belt, volcano, earthquakes. It refers to the vibration of earth surface caused by the endogenetic force of earth. The magnitude of intensity of energy released by earthquake is measured by the Richter scale. whereas the damage caused is measured by the modified Mercalli intensity scale. The place of origin of earthquake is called focus, the ground surface. Perpendicular to the focus of epicenter is called epicenter. Special branch of geology, seismology. Seismology, special branch of seismology, special branch of actually various volcanic circumpacific belt. Actually, earthquake is called focus. Earthquake. Actually, earthquake. The place of origin of earthquake is called focus. On the ground surface, which is perpendicular to the focus, hypocenter is called epicenter. Vibration of Earth's surface caused endogenetic force of Earth. Vibration of Earth's surface. The magnitude of intensity of energy release. The magnitude of intensity of energy. The energy released by an earthquake is measured by the Richter scale, whereas the damage caused is measured by the modified Mercalli intensity scales. Circum-Pacific belt. Fire girdle of the Pacific or the fire ring of the Pacific. Circum-Pacific. It extends across the Kamchatka Peninsula, Kuril Island, the island of the Japan, Philippines, New Guinea, New Zealand, and Solomon Island. It extends across the Kamchatka Peninsula, Kuril Island, the island of Japan, Philippines, Circum-Pacific belt. Highest volcanics. Highest volcanic peaks: Cotopaxi, South America; Fujiyama, Japan; Valley of 10,000 Smokes, Alaska; Mid-continental belt. Volcanic zones of the volcanic zones: convergent continental plate margins. Convergent. It includes volcanoes of the Alpine mountain chain, Mediterranean Sea, fault zone of the Eastern Africa, Stromboli of Vesuvius, Etna, Kilimanjaro. Mid-Atlantic belt, in which the volcanoes are fissure eruption. Mid-Atlantics. Actually, Mid-Atlantic belt. Mid-Atlantic belt, in which volcanoes are fissure eruption. Fissure. Iceland, Canary Island. Cotopaxi highest volcano in Japan. Mid-continental belt, Mid-Atlantic belt. Mediterranean Sea, Stromboli, Vesuvius, Mid-Atlantic volcanoes are fissure eruption. Iceland, Canary Island, Cape Verde. Major volcanic landforms: batholith, mushroom litholith, sepsasser, laccolith, dome, paccolith, and folded. Volcano is a vent or opening through which heated materials consisting of gaseous water, liquid, lava, highly heated enter of the surface of the earth. Gradual. Increased depth due to the heat generated. by the generation of the radioactive element. Origin of a magma due to the volcanism. It burst through the small vent and spread to a distant position. Large quantities of lava quietly flow up from fissures in the surrounding areas. Active volcano. Extinct volcano. They have no indication future erosion. Future eruptions. Actually, they have no indication of future eruption. Extinct. Slamish. Dormant, they become quiet after the eruption for some times. And eruption for some times. Fujiyama, Karakutta, Barren Island, Fujiyama, Japan, Barren Island, and Uncover, Desert Deep. Active volcano, they erupted periodically. Etna, Mount Etna, Italy, Stromboli, Mayon, Stromboli. Cotopaxi, South America. Fujiyama, Japan, Valley of 10,000 Smoke, Alaska. East African of Stromboli, East Africa. Vesuvius, Etna, Kilimanjaro, South America. South America.